contained in the third schedule to the Senate standing orders. Each party will have 30 minutes to make their opening statements. Not more than 30 minutes. We will start with the County Assembly. The floor is yours.
Honorable Speaker, the members of the Assembly, I seek your guidance before we make our address, and I seek leave on Rule 10 of the Standing Rules and Article 50 of the Constitution in respect to a preliminary issue that has risen, and equally Rule 14. Any preliminary questions or issues raised by the County Assembly or the Governor shall be urged for not more than 30 minutes unless the Speaker otherwise directs. Honorable Speaker, I seek your guidance in respect to a communication that was done to this House by the County Assembly via a letter dated 17th August 2024 and another dated 18th August 2024. In the letter dated 18th August 2024, Mr. Speaker, sir, we sought that, sorry, let me begin down dated the 17th. We sought the indulgence of this Honorable Speaker to exercise its powers to summon a witness who was not within our ability. That is one CPA Virginia Kawira Meriti, who is currently the CEO of the Meru County Public Service Board. In our letter, Honorable Speaker, we laid out the basis upon which our application is premised, and that there was a sort that she comes with any relevant information that relates to the proceedings before this Assembly this morning. Virginia currently works with the county government of Meru, and she's the CEO whom we intend to speak to various issues raised in our motion. That is to mean, Honorable Speaker, that she's an integral infrastructure in respect to laying the case and the basis of our the motion for impeachment, to the extent that if her availability is not secured, will end up prejudicing the case for the County Assembly. Equally, Mr. Speaker, sir, I spend enough and seek your guidance. We were served with the documents and the responses from the Governor's response team, and as correctly put and captured by your address this morning, Mr. Speaker, sir, we noted that there were some issues and very serious issues that were raised, some of them bordering between criminality or forgery of documents. Mr. Speaker, sir, in that respect, we noticed from the Governor's response a letter from one Linda Gaki Kiome, who is the legal advisor to the Governor, as at 23rd February 2024. We equally noted a letter, a purported letter from Jacob Kirari, the clerk of the County Assembly. This letter is purportedly received by the Speaker of the County Assembly of Meru. Mr. Speaker, sir, those two letters have been addressed and annexed as KM5, appearing on page 11 to 12 of the Governor's response at volume 1B. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, sir, the County Assembly of Meru seeks to summon the one Linda to come and speak to the authenticity of that letter. When she saw the response, she filed an affidavit which is yet to be placed on record before this Honorable Senate, but filed with the office of the clerk to the Assembly, dated 18th of August 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, the risk of us not summoning these two individuals, and especially Mr. Jacob, to come and tell us whether the county assembly ever received those letters from the county governor, will be that we shall proceed on the basis of evidence that has criminal liability, that has criminal aspects. We'll proceed to answer and to hear a case and a defense that is tainted with illegality. That means, Your Honor, so that means, Mr. Speaker, sir, that Article 50 of the Constitution shall be infringed, a right to a fair hearing, which must and shall not be derogated. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is alleged by the response at paragraph 54 to 56 of the governor's response.
Counsel for the County Assembly.
Yes, Your Lord.
Are you still on the request?
Yes, Your Lord. I paid off of that.
You're still on the preliminary issue?
I seek your guidance. I pen of that. We seek the summoning of Virginia.
So let's dispense with that first.
Yes.
Then you may proceed to make your opening statement.
Yeah, in the alternative, if these are not going to be summoned, we seek to expunge from record the affidavit of one Nkanata Dixon Monene, and most importantly, the offending paragraph 3, and the governor's response that has cited those particular letters that we claim to be an illegality and a forgery. But would appreciate if they were summoned, almost summoned.
Counsel for the governor, what say you in response to that request?
Mr. Speaker, sir, distinguished senators, there appear to be multiple requests wrapped up as one. So I'll respond to it as follows. There is a formal request before this House for the summons to Virginia Kawira as a witness. We have no objection to the summons to Virginia Kawira as a witness. There is a statement by my counsel that he has to produce relevant documents. Now, one of the things that these rules of procedure frown upon is trial by ambush. And therefore we concede to a summons to Virginia Kawira to attend this Senate and make such comments as are necessary on the documents already filed and shared between the parties. On the request in respect of the summons for Linda Koome, we have not been served by any such request. We are hearing it for the first time here, and we also don't know the justification for that because there's no document, letter, or request served upon us. On the request to expunge the affidavit or part of the affidavit of Dixon Monene Nkanata and certain paragraphs from the response, our reply is simple. Evidence, the credibility or otherwise of evidence is tested in cross-examination. We shall present each of these witnesses here as witnesses, Mr. Speaker, and the Assembly side will have an opportunity to test whatever theories and hypotheses that they have about their candor of their testimony by instrument of cross-examination. We humbly submit.
Thank you, Counsel for the Governor. Now, the Counsel for the County Assembly has made two requests. One, to the effect that summons are issued to 3 additional witnesses to come and support the case of the County Assembly. And 2, certain paragraphs of 2 affidavits be expunged. Now, this is the ruling of the Senate. The request to issue summons to 3 witnesses to come and support the case of the County Assembly is hereby granted. The request to expunge certain paragraphs of 2 affidavits is deemed premature at this juncture, and therefore it is denied. Counsel for the County Assembly, you may now proceed to take your not more than 30 minutes to make your opening statement.
Armed by the directions and the ruling of the Senate. Honorable members, I shall take the first 15 minutes and equally share the same with my learned friend. Honorable Senators, you are being called this morning for the third time.
Counsel for the County Assembly. If I heard the counsel for the governor correctly, the letter indicating that you had intended to summon to call Linda Gaki Kiome and Mr. Jacob Kirari, that letter was not made available to the governor's team.
You know, if you may allow me to call counsel.
Available immediately.
Let
it be made available immediately.
We are most obliged.
You may proceed. And your time starts running from now.
Honorable members, you are being called for the third time to interrogate the character and the ability of Governor Kawira to govern the county of Meru, the county government of Meru. It's not usual that an individual can be called and be brought before this assembly without a reason. There is a fundamental reason that underlies her ability to govern. You're being called for the third time to interrogate the ability of Governor Kawira to manage the resources of the county of Meru. You're being called upon for the third time to interrogate the ability of Governor Kawira to ensure that there is effective service delivery of services to the people and the residents of Meru County. Accountability, honorable members, is a measure of leadership. Accountability is the ability of an individual to be held to account for our actions. It's not a call for interrogating the weakness of an individual, but the ability of that individual to execute her constitutional mandates. For the third time, there cannot be malice. This cannot be personal vendetta. There is no relationship that is unconstitutional between the governor and the county assembly that can make the county assembly to be aggrieved on behalf of the people of Meru County for the third time. Accountability is the gateway to earning trust. We are here because there is serious trust deficit with the ability of Governor Kawira to govern the county of Meru. We shall bring evidence before you, honorable senators, how reckless statements that flies over the face of chapter 6 of the Constitution in respect of the ability of an elected leader at the status of a governor to be able to earn confidence in the office that she holds. We'll show you how families are broken down courtesy of reckless statements that are not accountable, made and attributed to the governor. Honorable senators, we shall bring before you evidence how money and resources that Kenyans are on day-to-day basis working hard to generate are being misused at the heart and the behest of the governor, at the quest or behest of her inability to govern the resources, her inability to manage the county government of Meru, her inability to be in charge of the county. That is the case that we have before you. And when she is called to answer to the same, she has always an escape route. She has manufactured a serious safety valve that makes sure that she is never held to account of her actions. She blames others. She keeps on saying, it wasn't me. She is in charge of the county that, as we speak, has embezzled, courtesy of maintaining a manual payroll, Kenya shillings 212 million, hard-earned money, due to the inability to manage the county. We have a governor who is serving in the county government of Meru and who is not able to manage her human resource. When proper procedures are taken, when proper procedures are called out by the employees, they are victimized. They are victimized because she wants to maintain a system that is not accountable. This house has risen to the occasions, and whenever I appear before this house, I live with confidence, whether we win the case or we lose the case, that this house has done its work. This is the house that will go to the history of this republic, that it has been out to hold individuals accountable, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of your association, irrespective of your political association. This house has remained true to its calling. This house has remained very impartial to the processes. And that is why for the third time we are bringing a case against Governor Kawira, because we have confidence with this house that it will look to the facts of the case and dispense with substantive justice. The first step towards success is taking responsibility of your actions. The first measure, the measures of one's personal character is attributed to the ability to manage the responsibilities that has been bestowed and granted unto you. And if you cannot then be held accountable, if you will always be blaming others, then what is your role? When those others are making that mistake, when those others are embezzling the funds, where are you? What actions have you taken? We'll bring cases where the county assembly has attempted to hold accountable the governor, reports made before the county assembly, summons issued, recommendation made, and the governor declines. With contempt, ridicule, and spite on the part of the county assembly. That is the case that we have. Honorable senators, holding people accountable is a show of love. When you hold somebody accountable, you are simply saying, honorable senators, that you are capable of a bigger or to do bigger things. This is not out of malice. It's not out of any personal vendetta. It's to show the love that the county assembly has for the people of Meru. We'll present before you evidence that public participation was effectively carried out, 85% of the participants giving a verdict that supports the county assembly's case. We'll give you evidence that 49 county assembly members voted in support of the motion. These are not relatives to the governor. They have no any fraternal association with the governor. They are people who are simply executing their mandate as bestowed by the Constitution. That is the simplicity of the case that we have. We'll bring you evidence of a witness who is currently displaced from her matrimonial home, courtesy of the responsibility of the governor, courtesy of the governor inability to manage how she relates the members of the public. We'll bring you the sniper's wife. The sniper's wife is a case before this assembly, not to prosecute the murder case, but to prosecute chapter 6 of the Constitution in respect to the governor ability to manage the county. As I pen off and invite my learned friend, honorable senators, we invite objectivity in the case. You brought evidence by Governor Kawira, former individuals who moved this motions before for her impeachment have now been staged as a witness. You realize what happened. What dawned occurred to this county member of assembly who just the other day, a few months ago, was moving the impeachment for the governor, and now they have become a darling of the governor. Is that really a conduct that is consistent with innocence, that is consistent with integrity and accountability and transparency? We'll bring you that evidence. We'll show you why this a serious turn of events. Honorable senators, Kindly allow me to invite Mr. Kawira for further submissions. I am most humbled.
Honorable Speaker, my name is Morero Boniface Kawira, and I'll proceed from where my learned senior, Mr. Ndegwa, was left. Honorable Speaker, as I was preparing to make this statement, I found myself pondering about this third impeachment process that is before you. And the question that came to my mind is it merely for the joy of doing it? Is it merely for the joy of it that the County Assembly of Meru is before you for the third time? Is it merely for the joy of it? Honorable Senators, clearly and logically, there is a problem. And the County Assembly of Meru has diagnosed that problem. The County Assembly of Meru is beseeching you to find a remedy, to find a cure to this problem. Meru is ailing, and this House has the proper medication to this problem. We are going to demonstrate, Honorable Speaker, through various testimonies and exhibits that we have already filed, that there is a serious breakdown of governance in Meru. How is the Meru County Assembly expected to function if its oversight function has been crippled by the executive? How is the Meru County Assembly expected to exercise its oversight